Well, we've got a new rumor surrounding Gal Gadot returning as Wonder Woman, but I want to be cautious this time because their information is a little bit conflicting. Let's dive in and talk about the return of Diana Prince in the DCU and how Gal Gadot can make this happen. Well, if you remember correctly, a couple of months ago, Gal Gadot chimed in a little bit on a third installment of Wonder Woman. Actually, she flat out said that she'd been talking with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and they said, and I quote, "You're in the best hand, you got nothing to worry about," indicating she was indeed still the Wonder Woman of the upcoming DCU. Now, since then, the same trade that did this story did clarify there wasn't a Wonder Woman 3 currently in production, but James Gunn has yet to debunk or address these comments, which to me seems to indicate, more than likely, what Gal had to say about her staying on as Wonder Woman was more than likely true. Now, so far the new DCU looks like a wholehearted reboot. We know Henry Cavill has been replaced, Ezra Miller's not likely to come back, and Ben Affleck are all out. So it was generally assumed she would be replaced also. And this is where today's information starts to come around. Now, this is one of those reports from My Time to Shine Hello. And like we like to say, it's not from Gunn or from DC Studios. We want to take it with a grain of salt. And in particular with this scooper, we've had some conflicting reports. Now, in his recent post, he said that he can confirm that despite reports saying otherwise, that Gal will indeed be back as Wonder Woman for James Gunn's DCU. Now, for many fans, this is a rejoice moment, but I want to take this with an extra-sized grain of salt because this scooper is the same scooper a couple of months ago that told us Gal was out, meaning these are conflicting reports. I also think this is a great example of, well, scoopers just trying to stay relevant, because, quite honestly, the strike has still not resolved itself. It's getting pretty close, but there really is nothing going on behind the scenes when it comes to actors or writing, so I'm not really sure where he's digging up the information, and given his previous report saying that she was out, I feel like this is just an attempt to fill in a rather lackluster news day. Now, we know there are currently 0 plans for Wonder Woman right now. We do have a Paradise Lost series in development, which is being called a Game of Thrones type story about Themyscira. But as far as we know, she's not going to be part of that. Now, there's a distinct possibility the show dives into the history of the Themyscirans and the Amazons, and we could very well see Gal Gadot in kind of a narration role for this series, basically helping us understand and tell the story of the Amazons and leading us directly to the new DC Wonder Woman. She's a super important character, and I don't think James Gunn is just not going to use her, and fans seem to like Gal's version of the character, so I don't really mind her staying on, but quite honestly, if you're replacing everybody else across the board, I do think it's problematic for fans to keep Wonder Woman in the mix. We also have characters like Viola Davis or Peacemaker, which will continue on, but she is part of the Trinity. That's the face of the universe, and one of those DC pillars James Gunn referred to. So I think they want to be really careful here, and as of right now, they've given us 0 information, so we can move forward optimistically, but set expectations right, because honestly, I would not be surprised if she was indeed replaced in the role, and Gunn and DC Studios just haven't let us know yet. When we finally get a real update on Wonder Woman, we're going to have to wait and see.